Kentucky Wildcats, 11-5, second place in the SEC East. Here's a team, in 2023 went to the national title game. Um, 2024 it was a little bit rocky for a while. They came on strong and then kind of faded at the end and ended up losing to the eventual Super Conference champion Syracuse Orange. But it's interesting because they've got a couple quarterbacks that they've kind of flipped back and forth. Munson had a monster year last year. He's going into his last year of eligibility. They still have Jason Adams in the wings, but basing that off of what they just did in the first round by taking this quarterback Anthony Fields, I don't think Adams is the answer, or at least they're not as confident in him as they may have been early on in his career. So they're looking towards the future, and Anthony Fields, the quarterback, is the 22nd pick of the first round. And here's a guy that has crazy athleticism for a quarterback. He's 87 speed, ball carry is 70 max, and his avoid fumble is 92. So he would slot in as a backup running back, no problem. So right now, I think that it would be wise to have him actually suited up on game day, put him as a backup running back, put him up as a backup quarterback. You can kind of kill two birds and use one roster spot. But looking at his ratings, he's got low vol, so there's not going to be a ton of growth with this player. There are a couple attributes that can grow though, like his accuracy. So with 28 vol, he could see this 76 accuracy go up into the 80s, which is more than enough in this code to be a successful quarterback. He's got really good pass release, and he's got a decent arm with 71. One thing he doesn't have that a lot of people like is field vision. He's in the low 50s, which I don't know if that necessarily is a game breaker, but we'll see how he does. I do like his fumble. So there's a lot to like about this athletic specimen. It'll just be interesting because there was a lot of other quarterbacks still on the board. Even Levine, who I know a lot of people liked, and so they went with the athletic freak. Very similar to Mordecai, if I had to compare him to anybody else in this draft. I thought this was an interesting pick. They get a lot of value out of quarterbacks, and I really think whoever Kentucky puts back there will do probably well. Moving to the second round, they took the center, who's now going to be a right tackle, James Lutz. Here's a really solid, safe road grading player. I think that there was a few guys in this draft, the first, second rounds, that I went, you know what, that guy's going to be a stalwart on the team for a while. You know what you're going to get. Here's a blue collar lineman, decent feet, not the best feet, but decent feet, 59 speed, good strength with 81, not great but good, above average, really disciplined, and he's maxed out on pass blocking, which is a great attribute to be maxed out on, and his run blocking solid in the low 70s. And so I just think that this guy, while he may never be all-world as far as attributes go, I think he's going to be a blue-collar type of lineman that's going to contribute for a long time. Very, very smart pick in the second round. I know they lost an offensive tackle to the transfer market. I think Syracuse ended up signing him, so I can see why they had a hole on the offensive line, and Lutz should fill in nicely, and I bet he'll end up being the starter right out of the gate. So Sloth wasn't as impressed with the draft as I was. He gave him a B minus, which you could give him a B minus, I guess. I gave him a B. I thought that taking the chance on a future quarterback with that much athleticism is worth the gamble, and I like the Fields pick, and I thought Lutz was a solid pick. I thought good value. Nothing flashy, but a solid pick, and so put them together, and I think it's a solid B grade. I think it'll set Kentucky up, to really battle again for that SEC East title as we go forward.